Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Mr. Shakespeare here, going with you on the 9th of February 2023. I'm here with psychic medium and a remote viewer, Liz Cross. How are we doing today, Liz?
Oh, very well. Just a quick announcement. That booking frenzy the other day, last week, when loads of people booked appointments in a very small amount of time, triggered the algorithms in PayPal, and they've locked the account. So those of you who are just waking up this morning will find that you have all been refunded. I'm still processing a lot of the refunds, and I'll be in touch shortly with a different payment method. Your appointment still stands. Don't worry about it. This is all for the best. It really is. This is how PayPal operate. They then want confirmation that I'm a psychic, and they'll, try and run away with all the money, but we're beating them to the chase, and I'm issuing all the refunds. So don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We can finally get rid of bloody PayPal at once and for all. Okay, Mr. Shakespeare, take it away.
Okay, we're going to do another chart. This one we wanted to do the other day, but unfortunately I a bit messed up with the with the chart. When I was copying it, I didn't copy it correctly and it cut it in half, so we couldn't read it. So anyway, this we're going to do that. But before we do that, I want to say some things about these charts, because we are going to be doing a lot more of these charts. We're going to have a two-pronged approach. We're going to, at the suggestion and what happened with the reading the other day with where Liz got some confirmation. So with corporations, that we're going to be doing from next week is we're going to start from some corporations, and we're going to go from the date of the first trade. This seems to have some validity with spirit insofar as if all we care, or the people only care about the price, then okay. If it doesn't care whether the company's in existence or anything that happens to the company, it's just price, price, price. So for most people, that's all they care about anyway with stocks. So we're going to do some of those. I've got a database now which I've compiled of thousands of corporations going back. I found IBM's first trade date in 1924. So we'll be doing that, for example. We've got Tesla back in 2010 or 11, whenever it was. So we're going to be doing that. Now, because these are trades on the New York Stock Exchange, we know the place and we now know the time. So from that point of view, we're going to go ahead with the natal data based on that. Now, for other corporations and for cryptos, right, it's very important that we have all of this time, all of this information. And the way I'm going to put it and make it understandable is simply this. Bob comes up to me and says, can you do a reading for me, a natal read? I said, yeah, sure. What's your date of birth? Where were you born? I don't know. So I can't do a reading because I don't have his details. So for everybody that's going to be messaging on Discord, on Patreon, on YouTube, if you want us to do these readings, we must have natal data. Okay. Now in cryptos, if that is the date of the first trade on chain, okay, or when it was, when it was listed or somewhere, we've got to have natal data. If you don't have accurate natal data, the readings will not come out, all the transits will be wrong. In the same way as if Bob, who was born on the 6th of January, 1984, tells me that he was born on the 19th of November, 1952, the chart will be wrong. We have to have correct natal data. So we appreciate all the all the suggestions, but we've got to have data. I don't have that much crypto natal data. I've got a lot of corporate stuff now because I've managed to find some resources where I can get it from. But obviously cryptos are quite new. And in the same way as if I had 20 people in the room, I would need all their dates of birth, places of birth, everything to do all this. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Okay.
And Bob's your uncle. Okay. And you know what just
Robert Shapart's brother.
yeah. Those non-UK listeners, they won't get that. Sorry. But you know what came through? Because somebody made a suggestion of doing XRP, and I quite agree with that. However, we don't know the exact inception date of XRP. I've just tried to look it up. So for those of you that are interested in XRP, please do some research. Help us out. It's just me and Mr. Shakespeare here. We don't have a research team. We're not that big yet, right? We don't have, piles of people giving us information. So help us out. Do some research. But what we can do is we can take XRP's lawsuit, and because Spirit just gave this to me. So from the date of the inception of the lawsuit, if we can find that, right, we can definitely make a chart of the lawsuit. Can we not, Mr. Shakespeare?
Sure. If you're saying to me that Spirit gave you that info, then I'll go with that. I mean, that was not the date of the inception of XRP, but okay. I mean,
but everything is hanging on this lawsuit now with XRP, right? It just feels that everybody is banking on this lawsuit. So maybe if we get the inception date of the lawsuit. So explain exactly what you mean by natal data and inception dates, because people may not actually understand. This is all new to me as well. I mean, I don't know this stuff, but what do you mean by that?
Okay, well, let's use an analogy from from humans. Okay, so let's say that you were born on the 1st of January 1970. That would be the natal data for that day. Okay, but let's say that we wanted to know how your school life was going to go. Well, let's say that you started the school on the 1st of January 1975, say. So that would be the inception date of the school process. So we would use that date. But if we were using just straightforward birth data, yeah, in charts, as far as I understand it, you have natal data, and that's, what you were born, but it's your rising or your ascending star. That's what sort of governs how you go through life. So one of the reasons that we can use a different date, one of the reasons Spirit probably gave you the date for XRP is because the lawsuit, is a big thing in Ripple's situation. It will make or break it's been going on forever, but it will make or break what happens to Ripple, I would imagine. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, that would be the equivalent, I think, in my opinion, of its rising or ascending star, if you like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you might be born, a Virgo, but you might have, Pisces rising or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we are looking for, there has to be a reason. There has to be, this is all an exact science from the point of view of dates are very, very important. Times are important. Places are very, very important. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You cannot do these readings will be absolutely useless without this kind of data. Look exactly what happened the other week when we probed Bitcoin and how and when we found out, when with Spirit's help, exactly what we should be using as place. We all knew the day. The day wasn't the problem, but nobody had the time and the place like we have now. We've got it now, So,
you know what just came through. So say I buy Bitcoin today, and this is the start of my Bitcoin journey today, right? And I'm just going to try to keep accumulating more and more Bitcoin. And I buy it today, which I don't even know what today's date is. God help me. I've been up since 4. I do today's date, and I buy it at, say, 4 a.m., on the dot. in my time zone. You could create a chart for my Bitcoin future, right? Couldn't you?
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah. Yeah,
now
obviously. Well, I suppose, but where would we say the place took place? Where you live, where the exchange is based, where it happened? Where would be that side of it? We've got the date, yeah, okay. We've got the time, okay. Now where's the place?
that's a good question. Let me ask. So would the place be in my home? No. Spirit said no. It would be where the exchange is located. Oh, that's difficult because you don't know where actually the actual exchange is located. You could be using power off of a server that's located in a place completely different. So scrap that idea. Sorry, I was getting excited then.
You're almost making your own futures chart, but right. I mean, the problem is, I wonder. Okay, let's just do another quick experiment live while we're doing it. Let's say that you wanted to buy Tesla shares from the New York Stock Exchange. Well, look, you might buy through a broker, but they're all run through the NYC, the New York Stock Exchange at the end of the day, or NASDAQ or whatever, whichever one it is. It's all going through Wall Street, isn't it? So even if you bought on an online thing, they all route back to Wall Street. So could you not use New York, Wall Street as the place?
Yes. Could you use New York? Yes, it would. It would be because the transactions have to go through there. Yes, you're right.
So that is the centralized nature of obviously the current financial system, and obviously therefore shows the difference in the decentralized nature of the crypto world. Because you're right, you might have an account with Kraken who might be based in Palo Alto, California, but their servers might be in Botswana. We don't know. We have no
idea. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute.
Absolutely.
Actually, thinking about it.
You're booking a flight to Botswana. What?
No, I'm thinking about this. Well, we still don't 100% know, but let's say that Kraken's operation is in Palo Alto, California. All right, because when you buy from Kraken, you're not actually buying on chain. You're buying on their ledger. It's basically a glorified database is what you're buying on. Yeah, allocated to you. You have an entry allocated to you, but it's not on chain. So could you not use Palo Alto in that example? If you are buying off an exchange, could you not use that as the place?
So you're talking specifically with Kraken, is that right?
Well, I'm picking on Kraken, Coinbase. It doesn't matter. Any exchange. Coinbase, let's say they are in, Santa Fe or something. It doesn't matter. Wherever they are, we assume their servers are there because these are, as we know from earlier probes as well, confirmation. We know that these exchanges don't run on the blockchain, so they are basically a glorified ledger system. So when you buy a Bitcoin or a fraction of a Bitcoin, the reason why it's allocated to your account so quickly is because it's not on chain.
Ah, I see. Okay. So would, for example, Kraken located in Palo Alto, would that be? Yes, that's correct.
Right.
That's correct. But that's for people using Kraken. For me, look, I'm not a crypto girl, but for me, I have Binance International. So who knows where that exchange is? Nobody knows. I mean, I don't know.
Right. Well, I don't know. Aren't they
maybe instead of trying to do that, you probe. Listen, this is how we do things around here. Sorry, folks. We think on our feet, right? This is how you get the best information. Liz, why weren't you prepared and know everything about, all these people that you're probing? Because I don't want to, right? That skews the information. I don't want any information. This is how we roll. We think on our feet here. What, Mr. Shakespeare, if I created a Bitcoin wallet today at 4 a.m., I created a Bitcoin wallet and you use that. I created it here in my home. Okay. And then we probe the wallet.
Right. Okay. The only thing is, of course, there is this huge misnomer about there are no actual wallets. Okay.
They're not?
No.
I don't get that. Where are the wallets then? But no, this is too much for me. This is what do you mean there's no wallet? I have a wallet with, an address with all these numbers and what does that mean?
Okay. All right. So this all goes back to the start of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin was being launched, when they were talking about it, they didn't really understand how they could get people to understand the technology and what was going on. So they came up with a bunch of phrases and words which are still used today, which people can get their head around, but which are in fact not true. So we'll start. There are no Bitcoin coins. There are no Bitcoin wallets. And there is no Bitcoin mining as such. But the reason why these words were chosen was very deliberate. Is because people understand mining. People understand coins and people understand wallets because we use them in regular life. Bitcoin mining was a particular one. I mean, Bitcoin mining is basically, in its simplest form, solving the next mathematical progression to find the next prime number. It's not a mining, but because it was connected to gold and things like that, and we thought that people thought that would be a lot of value, that's why they came up with the word mining, that people would understand. And the same with gold, and the same with Bitcoin. When Bitcoin started, it was very easy to mine, quote unquote, Bitcoins, because the next, working out the next mathematical progression in prime numbers was easy. Now it's not. And the same with gold. When the first gold settlers went to the west coast of America, they could find gold panning it. It was almost on the surface. Now you have to dig 2 miles deep. So you need a lot more equipment. Well, it's the same with Bitcoin. To solve the next mathematical equation in the life of Bitcoin needs phenomenal computing power, So that means you have to go deeper and deeper into it. Well, when we come to wallets and coins, it's interesting. So there is the blockchain. All the Bitcoin ever mined, produced, sit on the blockchain. It's just that your address shows what's allocated to you. And what you have is something which basically shows your address on the blockchain. But no, you've got no Bitcoin in your wallet. Nobody has. They're all on the blockchain. It's just who they're allocated to. And when you buy and sell or transfer a Bitcoin, all you're doing is changing the allocation on the blockchain from address me to address you. It's all digital. When you sell or buy a gold or silver coin, that's different. You have to take it out of the ground, mine it, refine it, send it off to somebody, and it's all physical. This is a digital world. These just exist on computers. But yes, you can go into your account, your wallet, your so-called wallet that you set up. And the reason why people use these words is because people understand it. Right. So I can receive a coin into my wallet. They had great discussions back in the day about this, what to name it. Techie people understand it. Non-techie people do not. And most people are not that techie and didn't get it. That's why they came up with the coins, wallets, and mining principle. Okay. So if you set up a wallet now, all you're doing is setting up saying, hello, this is my address. Hello, this is where to send it, or to allocate it rather. Yeah. It's very easy to get drawn into the parlance. And for most people, that's how they need to think about it. I'm going to send you a Bitcoin. You're in New Zealand, I'm in Australia, or I'm in Australia, you're in Botswana, I'll send you a Bitcoin. Well, actually, all you're doing is making the transfer on the blockchain. So the allocation is from there to there. That's all you're doing.
And you don't have to worry about whether the blockchain likes psychics or not.
No.